Hello everybody, SpiritGaming here, and in this video guys, we will be making a beginner's guide on Scythe class. I have been getting a lot of questions, and on Discord a lot of people have been confused about what the abilities actually do. So we will go through each and every single one of the abilities, but before we start, guys, I did make a complete guide for this class. Basically that guide was the talents, deep talents, um, not draconics to be honest. I did not make a draconic guide, but set pieces, builds and so on and so forth. So in this video we will only be taking a look at some skills, yeah, all of the skills, but then at the end I will throw in some tips and tricks, so watch to the end and you might learn something new. Of course guys, this sound is still bugged as of the time I'm recording this video, so there might be some music in the background and that would be about it, not too much more, because yeah, there is literally no sound, so yeah. And before we start, one more thing, subscribe for more genre content. I do a lot of guides on this channel, and sorry for those of you who were expecting a stream tonight. I cannot stream because of the internet problems you might even see during this video. There will be a lot of cuts because our whole city literally has a yeah, you can see here. I will leave this in just so you guys know the problem. I did not do this on purpose, of course, the connecting thing, but it happens on a regular basis, like every 1 2 to 10 minutes, depending on how lucky you are. And our whole city with the same internet operator has the same problem, but I won't bother you anymore with that. So yeah, let's just go right into the guide. So first of all, let's start with the skills, and let's start with the Raven form, which is the pink form's auto attack. Okay, so or no, let's start with actually what is this right here? What is this blue bar right here? Of course, you might have seen you use it up sometimes. You do use it sometimes, yeah, as you can see here. Of course, I'm having a lot of lag, as you can see here, but I think that it's gonna be fine. Okay, very back. I'm gonna cut this and yeah. Right, so I'm back at the spot. I won't go near any more walls because it's dangerous. So yeah, what is this blue thing? As I said, most of the times you do use it in your cat form. We will see that later on. But let's just explain and also tell you where you can actually read for yourself what it actually does. So you go into skills and you press on this right here, hardpoint. So this is literally called hardpoints, hardpoint bar you can call it. I will call it that way, or energy bar for easier reference. Hardpoint is the core resource for Reaper skills. So if you press on the skills, you can see this skill restores 5 hard points. This one restores 5 hard points each time you deal damage. And then we have something like this, that this costs hard points, this costs a lot of hard points. You will see that all of these abilities from the chat form cost actual hard points, while this from the yeah, you can see 3 abilities from the Raven form actually give you hard points and you restore them. So the blue bar right here is called hardpoint bar, if you can call it that way. It's the easiest way, I guess, to call it. But this is used to use most of your abilities, and the other abilities will be to fill that bar up. Now, this is a beginner guide as I said, but I want to get through something real quick. That cooldown reduction, guys, is actually very important. And for free to play, you must have it to 43,000 cooldown reduction. Oh, it's not a must, but you will have a lot more success with it. I know I have seen people do guides where they don't even include cooldown reduction, which is stupid. Yes, guys, uh, the cooldown reduction on this class does not decrease the cooldown of the skills, but it increases the automatic recovery of this energy bar right here, which is very important because the longer we stay into this form, guys, the longer we can actually do more damage. Okay, the blue form, this cat form, does damage. This Raven form, aka the pink form, does you debuff the enemies, you heal up yourself actually. Yep, you can heal up yourself and refill this right here. So keep that in mind, guys. Skill cooldown reduction is actually important, but that is how it actually works. You don't reduce your skill cooldowns. Next up, yeah, and if you have like around 43,000 cooldown reduction, you will see here the whole bar actually restores like in like how many I'm not I don't remember how many seconds, but it literally doubles the restoration if you have around 42,000 cooldown reduction. So from 20 seconds, I think it was to 10 seconds. Yeah, it was it was 20 seconds at the beginning with zero cooldown reduction. But with 43,000 cooldown reduction, it literally doubles and fills up in 10 seconds, which is amazing. Okay, uh, Raven's Curse. Raven's Curse is this ability right here, the normal attack for the Raven form. As you can see, the normal attacks, you attack sideways twice. So, okay, let's do this. So, first attack, second attack, and the third attack is you should literally throw out two bolts. This is pretty important to remember for the next form. For this form, that's pretty much it. Although, let's read a pretty important thing as well. So, there's a 20% chance to bestow one of the Raven curses to the target for 5 seconds. However, I'm not sure if someone has tested this yet because I already have, and by the looks of it, you always get it from the first few hits. You literally get it from the first few hits. You have to be very unlucky to not get it in the first 3 hits. So it's kind of important, to be honest. Um, then we have these are the one of the curses. You can inflict 3 of these at the same time, of course, with luck. So RNG, if it's on your side, you inflict all of these 3 curses. So one of them is reduces damage dealt by 3%. The next one is increase damage taken by 1%. Of course, this is on the enemy, and reduces crit rate by 5%. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That is pretty much Raven's curse ability. And also each of these bolts can inflict that curse. So yeah, you can look at the enemies above their head if they have like a dot on them, and you will know if it's a cursed, if they are cursed. Next, so Demon Chain. What Demon Chain is, you literally link to a target, you deal continuous magic damage, we will go further down to see how much, to the target and up to 5 nearby enemies for 5 seconds. So yeah, you can literally just link to one target and deal damage to 5 enemies around the target. So, or your target, or you. I'm not sure how it was, but you do a bunch of damage to targets nearby. Although the damage is not that big, you will see down here. The most important thing is restores 5 hard points each time you deal damage, so that is the most important part. That is why in this form we fill up our energy bar. Um, the chain breaks when the distance between you and your target gets more than 15 meters. So if the chain breaks, you literally this ability won't do much and will go on cooldown. But if the chain exists for more than 5 seconds, the target will be feared for 4 seconds. Feared enemy will flee uncontrolled. If it got feared repeatedly in a short amount of time, the duration of fear will diminish greatly. So this effect right here is just like Solancer's time lock. I'm not sure, guys, if you know, but if you time lock someone and then CC someone, the duration of time lock will be greatly reduced. So that's literally it. However, many people don't know how fear actually works. Of course, I cannot test it on a bear, but when you fear someone, they run away from that spot. So let's say the bear was actually fearable and I could actually fear the bear. Um, After 5 seconds of this chain existing, it will flee from this spot, okay? It won't run away from you, but it will run away from this spot where the 5 second duration actually extended to, right? So keep that in mind as well. Now here is the damage. You can see that it does quite a bit of damage. So this is the initial damage and this is the damage per second up to 7 seconds because the chain actually does 7 seconds while the target will be feared in 5. So that's pretty important. Raven Shadow, keep in mind Raven Shadow and Cascades are basically the same thing on different forms. Although there's a very OP like talent for this, and then there's a very OP talent for this as well. So yeah, what Raven Shadow does is you literally backstep. Uh, as you can see here, let's just click on the ability. You backstep and basically teleport. Of course, this does not get you any energy points, but it actually reduces your energy points. But then it's kind of poorly written because you don't need to backstep at all. You can go in any direction you want when you are, yeah, you will go to any direction you're facing if you are pressing the, I guess, the control pad, right? So it's not a backstab. It is a backstab if you don't press the control bar right here. It is a backstab then. Same goes with this, right? Same goes with a dodge, but yeah, it's kind of poorly written. Um, Teleports backwards by to up to 12 meters, which is a lot, while increasing physical defense can be used while ground controlled. So yeah, guys, if you are CC'd, the only CC that this class cannot break through is Assassin's Black Hole EX ability, and then the um, the chicken or the duck witch's kiss from Soul Dancer. So keep that in mind. Um, okay, and increases your physical defense by almost 4,000 for me personally. So that is kind of huge, I guess. That is quite a bit of physical defense. Next up, we have Phantom Raven. Phantom Raven costs 40 hard points. The Spirit of Raven backtracks your HP to its number 2 seconds ago. To its number 2 seconds ago, which will never lower your HP, and puts you into stealth for 2 seconds. Meanwhile, it acts as your duplicate and charges forward. It detonates itself when defeated or after 4 seconds, dealing magic damage to up to 5 enemies nearby and fears them for 4 seconds. Feared enemies will flee uncontrolled. If it got fear repeatedly in a short time, the duration of fear will diminish greatly. So, basically literally fear, but what most people don't understand is this right here, this part. Of course, at the tips and tricks video, at the tips and tricks section, I will show you some few tips and tricks with Phantom Raven, but what this means is, let's say, the next 2 seconds, I lose like 10 million, no, not 10 million, 6 million HP, and I immediately use Phantom Raven, that whole HP bar will come back to me. So literally this state of my HP that was like 2 seconds ago, I will recover that immediately, okay? So that is pretty important to know, and it is very cool for dungeon runs. Next up, Phantom Shifting appears right after you use this ability. What this does is, as you can see, this Phantom right here, you can switch places with it. So you don't teleport to it, but you switch places with it. So that's pretty important to know as well. Tips and tricks video, guys. I mean, at the end, you guys will see a few tips and tricks for PvP especially. Annihilation. This skill is 90 seconds cooldown, and as I said, you cannot really lower the cooldown of this, but it literally restores 120 hard points in total. So immediately after you spend all of your hard points in this form, you will literally use this and get back to full. Of course, it does do quite a nice amount of damage as well. That's pretty important to know. Um, and that's literally it. It does look like a Kamehameha from Dragon Balls, and yeah, this is literally it. As you can see, you can actually still move, and the laser will actually follow the enemy as a homing missile, I would say. So that's pretty important to know. Next up, yes, I should talk about Raven Bound. Okay, sorry for the cut there. This skill, Raven Bound, actually appears on your hotbar. Yeah, this is called a hotbar, by the way. After you go into Tomcat form, into the cat form, and this is literally it, right? But keep in mind, I'm pretty sure you can activate it while controlled. Yeah, while you're stunned or something like that, you can activate it. So that's pretty important. The 5 seconds cooldown is shared with Spectre Cat, so you cannot spam between Cat Bound and Raven Bound. That is pretty important. Um, Multiple skills can be used. Yeah, this is literally it. You just go to the Raven form. You don't really get too much out of this skill, so that's why I probably didn't cover it at the beginning. You just remember that you can use Raven Bound while being crowd controlled. Next up, after you use up all of these abilities and your actual um, actual energy bar hard bar is filled, you want to use Cat Bound. Bind with the cat spirit also and enables all spiritual cat skills, which are these skills right here. Also increases magic damage dealt by 30%. Using any spectral cat skill generates 1 stack of cat's essence. You can upgrade Destruction Blast into Doom Blast when you have more than 13 stacks. All stacks of cat essence are removed when you bind with the Raven Spirit, and you lose 1 stack per second as well outside of combat. Can be used while crowd controlled. Again, same thing goes here. You can use it while crowd controlled. Now this means is just any damage you deal in this form, even with auto attacks, it actually increases, okay? It does increase the damage by quite a bit. Then what these stacks mean, let's just go into the form right here. And by the way, guys, that 30% damage actually lasts forever until you're in this form. Now, what does the cat's essence do? So you will see on the bar right here. Let me actually, yeah, I don't need to attack the bear. You can see these orange dots right here. Yep. So let's read through. Those are the cat essence. Now, why are they important? They are actually important because um, you can upgrade this Destruction Blast ability into Doom Blast. Doom Blast deals a ton of damage. You think 4.5 or 5 times the amount of damage one Destruction Blast does. So that's pretty important, and actually costs 0 hard points to use. It only activates all of these stacks, which are not used for anything else, okay? They are not used for anything else. Also, as I said, deals huge amount of magic damage and deals and delays the targets. Basically a stun, okay? Next up, I guess let's first talk about the Claw of the Spectral Cat, which is the auto attack for the Stomp Cat form. It actually does cost 15 hard points. It does not restore 5 like this did. It actually costs. But while reducing, well, when you use it, the next ability after you use this normal attack will cost 20% less hard points. So keep that in mind. That is very, 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 very important, guys. That is pretty important to know. Uh, Next up is Destruction Blast. Destruction Blast is literally your damaging ability that you spam every 2 seconds. It's a huge amounts of damage and AoE up to 5 enemies, as you can see here. For me, it does almost 100,000 damage, which is insane. And then, let's see how this looks, I guess. Uh, or I can just show it here, okay? Yeah. So this is how it looks. And this right here. You will see that does look like it does a lot of damage. But let's just stack it up, and you guys will see how the Destruction Blast looks when you upgrade it to Doom Blast. This is literally it. Boom. And when you hit anyone near that, it actually delays them for 2 seconds, and it does huge amounts of damage. So that's literally all of these abilities do. Now let's go to Cat's Kiss. Again, guys, this is the same exact thing as the Raven's Shadow. However, there's a very good one. There's a very good, I guess, talent for this, which we'll talk about later on, I guess. And if you want to check the build for this class, I have made a video about it, as I said. Spectral Cat. Spectral Cat is pretty much closer to Phantom Raven, although this does not fear, but literally creates a clone of yourself that just sits in one place, uses two chains and 4 Claw of the Spectral Cats, okay? But those things do 30% less damage, and I have calculated it, and using one chain literally does more damage than using the Spectral Cat. And Spectral Cat costs 75 hard points, while this costs 40. So this is literally not important at all. However, in PvP, you will actually use this quite a bit, to be honest, because it just tricks the opponent into thinking that you are attacking them. They don't see it as a phantom, they see it as an actual enemy. So that's pretty important. And also you also get a hard gathering effect when using Phantom Spectral Cat, recovering 4 hard points when hit up to 10 times. Of course, this might work again in PvP. As I said, this skill is very used in PvP, but in PvE you won't get hit 10 times by anything, and it won't be worth it at all. So that's basically it. Let's just show you how it works. Um, let's even go to the bear, and you can see right here, this is it, and I can actually swap places with it again. As you saw, it's here now, and it explodes at the end, which does not really it doesn't do anything. And last but not least, yeah, I talk about phantom shifting again. And last but not least, Grim Scythe. This is your ultimate ability on this form, and this was your ultimate ability on the Raven form. But on the cat form, it's Grim Scythe. Evokes Forbidden Incarnation and summons 4 sides of Spectral Cat to destroy all that stand in the way. Each side deals massive damage and knocks the target down. So this is basically the whole damage dealt, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So you will do 500,000 damage with this ability, with my rating, of course. By the way, how this looks is insane, to be honest, and that is why people think that this class does way more damage than any other, but actually Gunslinger Fighter out-damage it by a lot. So this is literally it. You can actually walk around while doing this, and keep in mind it can miss. This ability can actually miss. So that is pretty important, and the animation is kinda annoying, but if you hit a lot of enemies, especially in PvP, you will destroy them all, okay? That's very important. So that's basically it about the preview of the skills. I know it's pretty long, but for those of you who have no idea how this class works, I suggest you watch through the whole thing. So now I think let's go with some tips and tricks. Okay, for the tips and tricks to work, guys, we actually need to see Phantom Raven, okay? And have the talent Shadow Recall equipped. Let me go with my actual PvP set, PvP, I guess PvP 3, which you can see on my other video. Of course, this does not nearly as much damage as the Strain Chain does, but it just like this way more than the Strain Chain. I don't know why, and I keep on using it, so I will use this for now. But as I said, um, yeah, you want to have Shadow Recall built. So why is that? Why do we want Shadow Recall? Though literally, guys, when you remember when we said that it had like 2 seconds time to go back and recover your HP, now it literally has 4 seconds. So that is, you can go in. What I'm using it mostly for, to be honest, is going in and using Scorch, and then using this because by that time I'm gonna get damaged a lot, okay? Because Scorch just have an animation, and the Dodge has an animation, and then after you use it, you will literally recover out of your HP, while also providing a clone that enemies will get tricked by and attack that instead of you. So that's really important. There's a huge tip and trick I can give you. Next up, if you ever see an enemy get feared by this, immediately chain to it, okay? That's gonna cause a fear chain. That means that if the target is here for 4 seconds, this will pop on the 5th second, and the target will be feared for 4 more seconds, so literally 8 seconds of fear. So that is very, 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 very important to know if you ever fear someone with Phantom Raven first. Of course, then again, you can do this first and then use Phantom Raven. So that's literally it. You always want to use this ability before going into your cat form, just because it will actually help you. The next 2 seconds after the tango cat tangle will actually recover you a bunch of hit points as well, a bunch of I guess how it's called hard points. Okay, so that's pretty important to know as well. Not too much tips and tricks, I guess, for this mode, this like class. Of course, then again, if you use drain or something like that, using your let's see, using your chain is pretty important, just saying. And also there's another pretty interesting, I guess I would say, um, pretty interesting A-level talent, which is this right here, Shadowy Raven. That whenever you use this 3-second cooldown ability, it literally places Raven right here, and when it explodes, it actually fears the targets and deals damage to them. But then again, it has like 20 sec. This has 20-second cooldown. The ability has 3 seconds cooldown, but this has 20 seconds cooldown, so that's why it's kind of not worth it to use it. And running Drain or Shadow Recall is way better. Of course, guys, for builds, I have made a complete guide on this class. Next up, I guess, let's talk about some tricks that you can do with the cat form. Of course, we all know that I use a cat enhancement. For me personally, that will literally increase your damage by 15 more percent on top of the 30% on any skill, on any auto attack. So that is pretty important. And that is when this actually comes quite important as well, because it will do way more damage than it does regularly. However, don't use this skill for damage, use it to escape. Okay, guys, that is a very important thing to know as well. So, Claw of the Spectral Cat, guys, is the auto attack and costs hard points, right? But then I have Cat's Walk. The Spectral Cat from consuming any energy and damage increased by 30% for 5 seconds. Then we have the Cat's Kiss, grants you super armor for 2 seconds. So now, a very, very, very important thing to note is damage increased by 30 seconds. It says that, but it only increases the damage of Claw of the Spectral Cat, okay? So that is literally the only damage increase with this talent. However, but something that's very important is this right here, not consuming energy. We don't even care about the damage increase because it's not that much when it comes to, the auto attacks, normal attacks. However, them not consuming any energy helps us stay in tomcat form, in cat form, way longer. So literally, when you know every 5 seconds, and a good site will count those 5 seconds. Every 5 seconds, guys, you want to use this ability right here. So your normal attacks won't consume any energy. And then, as you can see, a very important thing as well is to always use two normal attacks after using destruction chain. Okay, that is a very important thing to do because it actually has a 2 second cooldown. You cannot spam it, and in those 2 seconds you can literally use your two auto attacks. And that is pretty important as well because remember what auto attacks did? They reduce consumption of the next skill. Heart consumption of the next skill be reduced by 20%. So from 40 uh, used hard points, this will reduce by 20%, which is amazing, as I said, in itself. I guess what more tricks I think there are not really that many more tips and tricks I can show you guys. That's literally it. They were not that like amazing, but as far as I've seen, you don't want to use this. Okay, so let's go in depth with the talent casting, which everyone will be using from level 90 to 99, even yeah, from level 70 to 99. That's the talent I'll be using now. What that talent does is literally giving you 5 seconds of free energy or free abilities to use whenever you go into cat's form. Of course, it cannot show you the exact skill rotation right now because I have a lot of lag. Okay, I can try to, but I have a lot of lag. I will repeat that. So literally, and I will talk what's important next up. Okay, so what I like to do is teleport near a target, use two of my EX abilities, use the chain to link with the target, immediately go into Tomcat form, link with the enemy, as I said, and then at the 4th second, as you can see, I was not able to do it. At the 4th second, you want to use this, your teleportation backwards ability, to further down the line reduce the consumption rate of your auto attacks, and also when auto attacks don't use up any energy, you won't have to use any energy for this as well. You will have to use energy as well for that, but it will be reduced greatly. Okay, and okay, before you go into Tomcat form again, you just want to use this and spam it. Okay, as I said, guys, I have a lot of lag, and whenever I press this ability, it does not happen when I wanted to. Of course, this is because of me and my internet at this moment. As you can see here, I wasn't even able to auto attack properly. However, I can literally stay at least 25 seconds in this form, and that's at least, I will say, I can stay for way longer than that, but 25 seconds is usually my meter, just because this has 30 seconds cooldown, and before I go into Tomcat, I always use it, as you can see here, and after 25 seconds, I switch back to Raven form, fill my whole energy bar up, and then use Chain and Scorch before I go back into my Tomcat form. You guys will see that in the complete guide video, so go check it out, as I said again. But that is literally it. So yeah, guys, thank you all so much for watching. I know it's like a 25-30 minute video, so but yeah, I think I don't really have any other video I can put up tonight. For the past 2 days, this has been the same problem. You will see in the last video, on the complete guide video I did, I had internet problems there as well. I thought it was because of the game, but it actually was not. Our whole city has this same internet problem, and it's kind of ridiculous that they cannot fix it until now. Like 2 days, they cannot fix it still, and it's very annoying. But we can't do much. I kept on calling them, and it does not work. They won't like work faster because of me, right? If I call them. So that's whatever. I cannot stream tonight, as I said, which I'm pretty sad about. It should have been a Terraria stream, a nice fun stream, but I guess I will play off camera as well. So yeah. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Subscribe for more genre content and from content on other games. I will start branching out of this game as well. So yeah, be sure to subscribe with notifications on to see when I post, although I do have a schedule which I will link down in the description below. Thank you all so much for watching, guys. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video again. Until next time, bye bye.